Hi, Barrett. Thank you so much for joining me this podcast episode. Really appreciate it. How are you today?
Good, thank you. How are you, Anil?
Yeah, I'm doing great, and thank you so much for joining me this podcast show today. And interested to know more about like yourself, and also we're gonna be talking about how someone can have big goals, how to create one and achieve them, and also when it doesn't go as we expected, how we can deal with our failure as well. Like this is where you want to talk about. So walk me through like about your journey. Like when did you decide you want to be entrepreneur yourself, your business owner?
Well, actually, it was a dream of about 15 years that I wanted to be a coach. But because I am a chemical engineer and a project manager, I worked in that because it was the easy choice. But I kept going and learning more things about, I did NLP coaching and went and studied how to do coaching and then master NLP coaching because I kept getting withdrawn to that.
Mm.
However, it was too scary for me to make that big jump from,
Yeah.
a secure job that is a good job after all to becoming an entrepreneur because, you have to start basically from scratch in something that is different. And for many years, this fear was getting over me.
Right.
Uh, yeah.
So this is how your journey started, and since then, like you've been running your own business, right?
Yes. So basically, this is how it started. But there is always something that, you either go to a really pain point in your life or a place that you feel that that's it. This is it.
Mm.
Now I'm actually going to make that change. So as I said, I had all the tools and all that from coaching. And I knew that I liked that, but I was too afraid. And then I was working on a massive project. It was a $500 million project in Darwin. I lived in Australia at the time. And it was a correctional facility, and the environment there was really, really negative environment. I don't know if it was, the workmates that were, in there and the government have to deal with, or, the contractor and everything, all the dynamic there was terrible. And for me, it was, day in, day out, it became
Yeah.
more difficult to actually come to work. But then when it was my 44th birthday, my father passed away when he was 44 from heart attack.
Well, so
So when
sorry.
I got to that, yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But when I got to that point in my life, I was all of a sudden thinking, I don't want to wake. I mean, maybe if today is my last day,
Mm.
you always think that if someone that is close to you passed away in your age, it's like, what if this is my last day on this planet? I
Yeah.
don't want that to be in such a horrible place. And I knew that it's scary because I was always someone that, I have a plan, I know where I'm going, I know what I'm doing. And I decided, no, that's it. It was so painful when the first person that came in and said happy birthday to me, I said, that's it. I just have to leave this place. So I wrote the resignation letter and submitted that on the spot. I didn't really know what I'm going to do next. I always wanted to do the coaching thing, but it was too scary for me. So I took some time off, and during this time, I started using my own coaching tools on myself. But I know that we have all the answers within ourselves. When you learn
Mm.
these coaching tools, this is what you learn. But at the same time, I knew that sometimes when you're in the problem, it's easy for someone from the outside to look into that and ask you the right questions for you to find what it is that you want. So I joined another coaching program, even though I already was a coach.
Yeah.
And through that program, basically, they helped me realign to my dream and why not pursuing your dream? So, what is the worst that could happen? Give it a go. You're in an age that, what if nothing happens? It's better to go for something that maybe is your purpose and try it out. And it took me about a year to get over myself and go through everything. It wasn't a very quick solution. So I studied more, I did more. But then at the end of that, I actually moved to New Zealand. So prior to that, I lived in Australia and then I moved to New Zealand. I started still in project management as a contract that I have for 1 year. But at the same time, I started volunteering as a coach
Mm.
in Business Mentors New Zealand. And as part of that, the more people, because I did not have everything that scared me was the part of the sales. When you become, your own business owner, you have to sell services or whatever it is. And that
Yeah.
was something that I was afraid of. So I decided, well, I'm going to do the part of something that I really think that I love, but I don't know until I actually do that. And I volunteered. And as I started getting clients from them, it wasn't for the money, but then I felt like, wow, I'm actually helping someone change their life, their business. They're actually, they were just starting their own businesses and I'm helping them. Why wouldn't I do that for myself? And it was much more than that. It was really the sense of purpose that you feel fulfilled in ways that I've never felt before. Even though being a project manager is a fulfilling job, is a good job, but it's a job. This
Mm.
one felt like it's a purpose. And then I said, when I finish my contract, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to jump into that and find a way. And that's what I did. And I have to say that today, I live here in New Zealand now for 6 years. I really feel that I'm living my dream life. I'm living in a beautiful place. I'm helping business owners, get in their business to the next level because I have all the tools that I gathered through the years. But when you work from your purpose and you see the other person in front of you, their eyes light up, they start looking differently, they have results in what they're doing, and this is just amazing. So
That's
yes,
that's
so
the journey
this
you
is
had. So obviously you dreamt big and obviously accomplished that dream, right? So a lot of people they have the skeptical of dreaming big, should I dream big? Is not gonna be possible, have that doubt and everything. So when you're dreaming big for yourself, do you have the conviction it's gonna work out for yourself, or how do you go about believing in yourself?
exactly. So it's much more than just believing in yourself. And that was the part of the program that I did and later on also learned their principles,
Mm.
which is where you learn that, there are universal laws that if you actually work according to them and you have all the tools, it's more than believing in yourself. The universe come to your support and actually help you. But you need to just keep going because it's difficult to start no matter what it is, so you have to feel that this dream is really worth everything. You put yourself in the line and you will hear the first no's. It's not straight away, well, I'm going to be a coach, who wants to work with me, and everyone just raise their hands. It
Yeah.
takes time until people know you, until people see that you give them amazing results. But because you have that, really it does have to come with the belief in yourself and in the dream, and knowing that when you're doing something that is bigger than yourself. And I really saw that as something that is bigger than myself as I started working with people, and you really feel that you are doing something that is great, you're supporting someone or whatever it is, whoever, when you're working in a place that you feel your purpose, it is so strong that you say, no matter what, I'm just going to keep going. Yes,
Yeah,
so I will hear no's, but the statistics is like the more no's you hear, the closer you are to your yes.
it's true.
So that's what I worked on, this mindset of just keep going.
And when you're setting them them big goals, how big is it? Sometime we have we see creating a smart goals, so make sure it's a realistic, achievable, be specific and things like that. But when you talk about a big goals, it's something we're gonna achieve in 10, 15, 20 years, impossible goals, right? So in terms of when you say bigger goals, which one are you trying to define? Is it a smart goals you're talking about, or we are just big
No,
ambitious,
so
going to the moon or something like that? Yeah.
in coaching, definitely you learn about what's your goal, and it's achievable, and it's using the SMART principle, that it's that the timeline and everything. But this is taking that to a different level. This is basically looking at the big dream, and you look from the dream and sort of reverse engineer that back to what you need to do. So it's breaking it down to a lot of small steps. But where you start is with the what, not with the how. So you don't start with, okay, so how I'm going to do that, because this is where most people get stuck. And this is where I was stuck for so many years. But this was part of the new principles that I learned in that new coaching program that I did, that helped me realize that, when you focus on what is it that you want, slowly you get into the how. Yes, you have, what's one step you can do to make you move forward. And when you're coming from the dream and see yourself actually in that place of what is it that you love and really dream as big as possible, and you say, what is one step when I'm already in that state of achieving that dream? What is one step that if I take it today, I know that it moved me forward? So you take that one step, and every time you take another step, and you have goals in the middle to reach to, but you figure out you don't have all the different, you know, milestones all the way to the goal, but you know where it takes you to the right direction, and you just keep working towards that.
Okay.
And you know, when you have the support also for someone that is supporting you and believing in you while you believe in
Yeah.
yourself, it's easier to make that, because it's not just you and then all your, you know, self-talk comes to you and start saying, can you really do that? Someone is there to support you and say, yes, you can, and
Mhm.
let me show you, and I'll hold your hand, and we're going there together. And this is what I'm currently doing for my clients.
Yeah. And obviously, let's say someone comes to you, they have like a big ambitious goal, and then you need to work it through like a clear, defined it and everything. Like let's say someone want to big a business where to generate $10 million revenue. So how do you break it down and make it like a create process for that to generate them kind of revenue or like hit that kind of goal?
Yes, so you work the way I work in my program. Basically, I have two streams for that. One is learning the principles that help you understand and put you in the mindset that you can achieve that. And
Mm.
you're looking into the dream as 3 years from now, not just next year,
Yeah.
to give you, you know, an opportunity and enough time to really make it happen. It doesn't mean that it will actually take 3 years, but within 3 years, you can get to that dream. But then after you have the what really, really clear, your vision is absolutely clear, you know what it is that you want, then it's going to the SMART goals and moving to the next step of what does it require and where does that take you to, and breaking it down, and then looking into the business and having specific goals, looking into the money. How much money do you make right now? What is the goal? Which streams of money do you currently have? How can you expand that? And working
Mm.
on these strategies alongside the principles that you have in your head, and starting to implement more strategies. And at any point of time, you work through multiple strategies, not just one. And as you work through them, you know, it's an ongoing support. So with that, you also check which one worked best. Do we enhance that? Do we change that? So it's a work in progress, but with a very clear goal in mind. So you have that specific goal, you have the time to reach that, and every time we meet, we follow up on how does that go and make some amendments. It's not just, okay, this is it, and I'm just going to go
Yeah.
for it no matter what, but making adjustment to make sure that it works the best. And what I found as well with business owners that I worked with, as they start seeing that they actually achieve their goals and they get the money that they wanted to do, they start looking in, okay, now that we have a lot of different ways, because that's part of the idea to have multiple strategies, which one do you really love working on? Because some of them you may find out, well, I have out of these 5 or 6 strategies, two that, well, I can do that, I get money through it,
Yeah.
but I don't enjoy it as much as the other one. So we're focusing on the one that you love. And through this,
Mm.
you actually bring more purpose and fun. And, you know, you actually enjoy more what you do rather than just bringing the money. And this is another big part that I really think that for me is really important. And also when I'm working with others, is to bring that part of something that matters to you, that you feel great and you're happy along the way. You don't just make money, you definitely make more money, but you are happy with your choices, with your life, with everything around you, with the time that you have for other things.
That's great. So of course, like you create a plan and everything, like you ambitious, you wanna achieve your goal, and you did everything, and then the results go sideways. Like you didn't achieve 100% of your goal, probably hit 70%, 80%, and we often get discouraged because we didn't hit the goal, and then we feel like a failure. And so, how do you deal with the certain setbacks, like when you have like a big ambitious goal and it doesn't go as you expected, and then you work so hard for it?
So again, with that's where the NLP part of my training comes into play,
Hmm.
which basically helps to work on mindset. And with the mindset, First of all, the fact that you're not waiting to the end and say, well, it's a big failure. You work step by step, and as something happens, you work with that and you align that and you change that. But with the mindset, you keep working with, fears come up. You don't, go through something big without being afraid. But this is a good sign because it means that it's big enough for you to go after. And it's worthwhile because what it's going to bring you is great. So sometimes having a different perception, a perspective, sorry, to how you look into things gives you a different mindset as well. But
Mhm.
also there are a lot of tools when specific beliefs come up, and they do, it's working through that specific beliefs that are coming up to make that work different, that it doesn't work against you, but it's actually supporting you in your journey to wherever it is that you want to go and to your goal. And okay, and you are expecting to fail as well, because this is part of how we learn. And think about it, people who never fail are people who never try anything and they achieve nothing. So yes, you can sit and do nothing and not fail,
Yeah.
but you will not achieve a lot. And the people who actually achieve a lot are the people who fail the most, because they keep trying and doing more and looking into that of, wow, what did it actually give me? And looking into past example of where something that I thought that it was a failure,
Mm.
maybe it was the universe way of trying to tell me, well, this way is actually much better for you.
Yeah.
And when you listen to that, you actually take a different pathway and you get to the results that you want.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that, Vered. So we are nearly end of this podcast. It's been a great pleasure having you on the show. So if anyone wants to learn more about yourself, your business, where's the best place to find you?
So I'm in successengineering.co.nz. And over there, you can also find my results rally program. So it's one of the pages on the website. And I'm also on LinkedIn, Vered Ohana, and Facebook, Success Engineering.
That's great. Thank you so much for your time today. And I wish you best of luck with your business, your personal life. You have a wonderful year ahead. And thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you so much, Inul. It was wonderful being here with you.
That was
Thank
my
you.
pleasure. Thank you. You're most welcome. That's a wrap, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for listening to this podcast episode with Miss Barrett today. I hope you enjoyed our conversation. If anyone wants to get connected with her or reach out to her, you can visit her website or you can find her on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook. So until then, I'll talk to you in the next episode. Take care.